Hi, it's Randy again, also known as Star Thinker. There's a weird glare, the way the lights are glaring across the screen, but I did just clean it, so I don't know if I can get rid of that. I can't tell where that's coming from. Anyhow, I'm sitting here at work. I got several things downloading, so I work alone at night, and I tend to watch YouTube videos a lot at night, and I watch a lot of paranormal videos. I think they're just fun and they're a hoot. And I was watching one tonight. It was 5 paranormal mysteries that are yet unsolved, and it looked a little bit, because every once in a while you get one that looks a little bit different. It's not just about ghost faces and cemeteries, and so I thought, well, I'll watch this one. And I don't want to drive traffic to it because it was really, I thought it was horrible. And when it was someone I don't normally watch, I watch a lot of Slapped Ham and, where are all the other ones I watch? Slapped Ham is one. Like Top 5S, Unexplained Mysteries. Let me get into my account here. And plus we have a VPN at work, so I got to do a little bit to get around the VPN. Yeah, Top 5S, Slapped Ham, Nuke's Top 5. Some of these people, I can't stand their voices, but it's fun to watch. But I watched this one, Top 5 Paranormal Mysteries. On the first one, I can't remember what it was. And then the second one was Forrest Fenn's Treasure. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize Forrest Fenn's Treasure was a paranormal mystery. And of course, this is like a top 5 list, and it was only like 10 minutes long. And it's funny because it's like they just touched on the very, very tippy top highlights. And like, Forrest Fenn hid this treasure when he thought he was going to die. People have died looking for this treasure. It's still out there. People think it's a hoax. He was sued in court over it, and his close friends say that he would never lie, or he would never lie, and it's still out there. And then they had like a picture. I don't think it could have been a picture from Forrest Fenn, because it was a picture I'd never seen before of something that looked very similar to his chest. But I just thought it was funny, like talking about I can't remember the name of the seafloor anomaly up in the North Sea, and then, rooms in the pyramid that haven't been explored yet, and then Forrest Fenn's Treasure. It was just kind of funny to see it lumped in with those. But yeah, they made it sound really mysterious and everything. I just got a big kick out of that. So, plus I'm falling asleep. I'm downloading. Oh, these things are taking forever to download. I've done over 21 computers in the last couple of days, and it gets tiring. But I was going to go boots on the ground this weekend. I ended up not doing it at the last minute, and I've got planned out my next boots on the ground, which will be in 3 weeks, I think. But one thing I did want to note is I was thinking a lot about the blaze. The blaze is like the one factor that none of us can speculate on, really. I mean, Forrest says the blaze can't be seen from Google Earth. You have to be there. Where warm water's hauled home around. A lot of people speculated, at that point you got to get out and walk, and then the rest of the clues make sense because you can't Google the rest of the clues. And so I was thinking about the blaze and the way it's worded, and let me pull it up here. You think I'd be prepared for these videos, but like I said, I was falling asleep. I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep at work. But if you've been wise and found the blaze, a wise man, and I was thinking about Indiana Jones, where he's after the Grail, and he's walking up the channel. He's like, the penitent man, only the penitent man can pass. And he remembers, the penitent man kneels, and he kneels, and the blade goes over his head. So I was thinking that's kind of what I was thinking of when I was thinking, if you've been wise and found the blaze. I'm picturing myself walking through the woods if I'm wise. And what does a wise man do? A wise man has knowledge, you know. So you have to have knowledge to find the blaze. A wise man, and I thought, oh, keeps his eyes open and, you know, looks around, and, you know, a wise owl turns his head all the way around and stuff. So, you know, maybe a wise man's looking around as he's finding the blaze, you know. So when you're walking down the trail, don't just look ahead, look all around you, because that's what a wise man does, to gather my knowledge. And then when you find the blaze, it says, if you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down. And I'm thinking, everyone thinks like you see the blaze and look down, but I'm thinking, when you see the blaze, I don't think you're going to be close to it. I think you're going to be further away, because he said, when you see the blaze, look quickly down. He didn't say go up to the blaze. He didn't say approach the blaze. He said, when you see it, look quickly down. And I was reading definitions, and I know this has been done to death, the different definitions of quickly. Quickly is like quicklime. And oh, another thing about, I'm going to back up here a little bit, about wise. You know, there's clockwise and north, you know, there's different wises you can use. And I was thinking about clockwise too, also means look around, if you've been wise and found the blaze. And then quickly down is like the same thing. Quickly can mean a flow, you know, look down the flow. And it doesn't mean look quickly down, but like if there's a flow and there's the blaze, you know, go down from the blaze and look around. Look quickly down. Look around, maybe, and where I'm going is a dry creek bed, so I'm thinking, well, maybe look around the dry creek bed down from where the blaze is. But I don't think you actually walk up to the blaze, or if you do, you walk up to the blaze and turn around and look around. I just don't think, I don't know, it just seems like the way it's worded, you see the blaze, then you look around, you look down. Quickly down, I've heard this spoken about before, coming look over a cliff, but I don't think he would put anybody in danger by having a cliff involved here. But look quickly down, like I said, it could mean you see the blaze, start looking around down below the blaze. That doesn't necessarily mean look straight down, but look around below the blaze. Your quest to cease. And then that weird phrase, Terry Scant, like I said, I've Googled this before, and the only time it comes up is in regard to this poem. It's just a phrase that does not exist. I still think that's forced in there, and I think he really needed words that fit something. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the blaze, and I was thinking about that when I was in my car this weekend. I was going to make a video on that, because like I said, I was going to go boots on the ground. It just kills me. Maybe you're lucky I didn't, because now not only do we have COVID-19, but we have riots breaking out. I have good friends in Washington, D.C. and Chicago that are standing out there and getting bloodied and holding signs, and I just, yeah, I worry about them. Here in Mason City, this little quiet town of Mason City, there were probably 50 people downtown protesting. But yeah, it's crazy. And so I'm hoping between the two, and I know I've looked up my area, things are opened up. There's no closures, there's no restrictions at this time. So I'm hoping to do that, but who knows? Who just freaking knows what's going to happen? We could get locked down again with a second wave of COVID. We could be under curfew restrictions due to rioting. I could just see like a federal dictate coming down saying, oh, all highways are going to be closed between certain hours, something crazy. So I cannot predict the future at this point. You just can't do it. But my next window is in 3 weeks. I'm actually, my computer screens, I have computer screens all around me, but I was just putting in for my week off, because I'm going to take a whole week off. Like I said, I don't think it's anything where you're going to walk up and look and see it and look down, and there it is. I think this has been out there for 10 years. It's probably covered in pine needles and leaves and dust and dirt, and it's not going to be, unless someone's gone and cleaned it, or unless it's in something like a hole in a rock or something. Even then, it could have got filled in. So I think it's something that is going to have to be looked for. You're going to have to feel around for it or use a metal detector. But again, I don't think it's cut and dry that you see the blaze and look quickly down and there it is at your feet or anything like that. I think it's meant to be look around, find the blaze, and when you see the blaze, and somehow we're going to know what it is, but you see the blaze and look around down below the blaze. I don't think that's something you can do. Maybe you find it in the first shot, but I mean, if I'm taking a week off, I'll have several days to go up and look over and over again. Maybe go back at a campsite and think about it and go up the next day and find something else. I still think the blaze, and this is my bias, it's probably going to blind me, but I still think the blaze has something to do with an eye. But yeah, we'll see. But I just wanted to put those thoughts out there, and God, I hope something worse doesn't happen. I know there was like an earthquake in Yellowstone. People are like, yeah, that's about right. And that's about par for the course. Let the super volcano erupt because everything else is erupting. But yeah, it's just, and I got friends in Minneapolis, and I've been watching what they've been posting. They've actually gone downtown and posted what they've seen. Nothing that's like made the news or anything, but I've been watching their posts on Facebook and Instagrams, and it's just when you're seeing them standing there in a group of people and there's police officers, and you're like, that's potentially these days that's an explosive situation, and you know, I'm looking like that's my friend standing there, and I have another friend heading to Washington D.C. He says, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get there, but by golly, if there's a protest, I'm taking part in it. Basically, is what he said, and. You know, I have friends in England, which is locked down even more than the U.S., and it's a crazy world right now, and we're not done with it. And I do hope we learn and grow and move on, and that's the biggest hope I have. I mean, we've been through race riots before, we've been through pandemics before. I'm just hoping we learn and grow from it and not just brush it under the rug and wait for the next time. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the blaze. I think I've touched on some of these before about it being an eye. Yeah, I don't think it's something you're going to actually go up to. I think it's something when you see it, and there might be a point where like you see it, and a point where if you back up a few steps, you no longer see it. And I do believe it's going to be in a rocky area because, you know, he said it could be there in 100 years and 1,000 years, and trees simply don't last that long. So I don't think he hit it in the crook of a tree or anything like that. I think rocks are the only thing permanent. So rocky, and I've been all over the Rocky Mountains, and I know what that's like. There's rocks and there's trees, and a million places you can hide stuff. And in fact, one of the videos I just watched was the 5 biggest treasures that were found accidentally, and I'm just like, and that kind of led me to other videos where I was watching a guy on a beach, and it was just this granite beach, and it had cracks. He says these cracks have been here for years, and no one's really gone down them. And he goes down, he was finding like Indian head nickels, and he found one gold coin that he couldn't identify because he hadn't cleaned it off yet. And I'm just like, he's just looking in the cracks of the rocks that, you know, no, who would think to look there? But it's a beach where boats used to dock, and there used to be people there, and there used to be buildings there, and he just figured, hey, people are going to drop stuff down these cracks and say, well, it's in the crack, forget about it. But that was really interesting. And the 5 biggest treasures, like those people in California who found cans of gold coins, that is just, and no one could figure out where these gold coins came from. And there was like 1,400 gold coins. And it was on their land, so they got to keep them. And one coin alone was worth $1 million, like an 1857 $20 gold coin, something like that. And well, I don't know, I'm just going from memory, but it was a gold coin that specifically didn't have the motto on it, and worth $1 million alone. And they had 1,400 coins, and it's just amazing. So, and other treasures that people have just stumbled upon. I remember my landlord in England, when I lived in England, he was a bricklayer, so he was doing a job in a post office. What they didn't know was the post office used to be a church like 500 years ago, and they were breaking through a wall, and they found a hidden room, and it had skeletons and gold in it. And I'm like, wow, you know, what are the odds of that happening? And you know, England is a lot older than the United States, so they have stuff like this where like, hey, this building's been around hundreds of years and we don't know what it used to be, but now it's the post office. And here we go, and they break through a wall and they find skeletons, and they're looking through the skeleton. You know, of course, the construction workers didn't do that. They had to call people in, and they found gold artifacts and stuff. And like, well, this was a burial chamber of some sort. And in England and Europe in general, you know, people got buried inside the church. And anyway, very very interesting. People just can stumble upon stuff like that. But that gold cache in California, just wow. Can you imagine? And they were like mint condition and uncirculated and stuffed in cans from, and they were the early 1800s. I think they said like 1830 to 1857 was the range. So that many years ago, that was hundreds of years ago, and they buried these coins and somehow never dug them back up. But yeah, those kind of things get my heart beating. But I'm going to have fun, but regardless. I'll have my full pack. I'll have my camping gear, and I'll have enough money where if I feel like it, I can get a hotel room 1 or 2 nights. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to go look for that blaze, and I think it's going to be something. He said it was large, it'd be impractical to move. But I think when you see it, you got to look down below it, and you got to look around. It won't be something you're just going to say, there it is, look down, there it is. You know, that's kind of what I thought at first, but I'm like, no, I think you're going to see it and look down. But anyway, one of my downloads finished, so I got to do that. And nope, my other one's still going. Other 4 are still going because they're all synchronized. So anyway, I'm going to watch more paranormal videos, and remember, Forest Fence Treasure is a paranormal unsolved mystery, and I just thought that was hilarious. So anyway, this is Randy Pistol signing off. Don't forget to buy my books on Amazon. I don't care if you like this video or anything, but I don't know. Everyone says, oh, well, like the video and click the bell. I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, good luck, and I'm going to click off now. Take care.